Since 2018, when the armed conflict of the Northwest and Southwest region actually started in 2016, it was a peaceful and civil conflict. In 2017, it still continued with a peaceful protest on September 22, 2017, when thousands of people across the Northwest and Southwest region, hundreds of thousands of people across the Northwest and Southwest region, from all the nooks and crannies, from the regions to the interior, from the mainstream to the villages to the quarters, stormed the streets with peace plan. That marked a significant moment in the history of Cameroon, where that kind of protest stormed by thousands, hundreds of thousands, all chanting and asking for what at the time they consider a revisit of the fabric that binds Cameroon's central system or centralization. Fast forward, October 1st, 2017, hostilities began. Things began to move from a peaceful protest to a civil unrest, and at that time, casualties were recorded. Some were killed in Boya, some were killed in Bamenda. At the same time, the government of Cameroon was trying to put in all measures to see into it that the issues are resolved. However, in 2018, between February, there was a definition of what became known as the longest ghost town ever. Within that time, a 2-week lockdown was declared, and the people massively respected it. And by 2018, 1st October, with the coming of the presidential election, tension moved to a highest level and then saw the increase in violence. And by early 2019, the armed conflict actually began. We are counting years down the line. Thousands of people have been killed. Hundreds or thousands are unaccounted for. Also, villages have been destroyed. Some are gradually coming back. Some people still need confidence to go back. But this hasn't stopped the killings across the Northwest and Southwest region. Skeptics and critics say that the fact that people are returning and killing has not stopped, and the usual Monday ghost town has not stopped, it is an indication that many people have bought into the Darwin principle, that principle of survival of the fittest, and the principle of acclimatization, that the people have just simply adapted to the system. And that is why you may think that things are normal, but they are not normal. For sure, on the streets of Bamenda in the Southwest region, a day will hardly go by without an individual being killed, without bodies being spotted, especially in Bamenda. It is a new normal where you get into the town and you will see, or you will be told that a body has been found in so and so junction, two with bullet wound in so and so junction. It is now a new normal. The head of state, Cameroon's president, on several occasions have called on those who are carrying arms in the Northwest and Southwest region, the separatist fighters, to drop their weapons. The government of Cameroon holds that they called for a major national dialogue in 2019, 30th of September to the 4th of October, where they call for a major national dialogue such that they can put an end to the conflict. But from the separatist perspective, they think that the decisions arrived at the major national dialogue are cosmetic solutions, as they have not resolved the conflict and guns are still using out. Military men have been killed, civilians have been killed, and people have been taxed with what is called blacklegism. In all of this, the question one is tempted to ask this day is, has the government, the international community, stakeholders, the civil society organizations, the NGOs, have they all forgotten about the Anglophone crisis? Or are they just waiting for the crisis to die a natural death? What could be the problem? today's edition, you will have time to participate and call us on what you think can be done to finally resolve this conflict, and also your experience as far as the conflict is concerned. It is 676-431384. This is House of Commons with me, Tamai Jarvis. You're welcome back, and I want to wish you all a happy Sunday. This is our first edition of our program after my journey to Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, to Niamey in Niger, and to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia to explore the section of Africa and to see how far they've gone as far as development is concerned, and also what challenges they are going through and how the rest of the world and Africa can assist them in one way or the other to ensure that they solved their problem. The number is 676-431384. 676-431384 is the number that you can call us in the course of the program. In the studio, I want to introduce my guest with whom we are going to discuss while waiting on other members who are yet to come in. We apologize for the late start. Most of our guests have indicated that they are stuck in traffic, and some are yet to inform us as far as the situation of arriving at the studio is concerned. In the studio, we are joined by Mr. Asia. Mr. Asia, happy Sunday and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Jervis. It's a pleasure that I'm here again today for this program. I want to salute everybody that is seated. Happy New Month to my son, and happy birthday to my son, Prince. I want to salute all the fervent viewers of my Media Prime. It's my pleasure, Mr. Jervis.
Thank you very much, and we await the arrival of other panelists who are yet to join us on today's edition of our program. I want to also wish you guys a happy Sunday to you, Mr. Nyam Robert and your wife Juan. Mr. Nyam Robert in the United States of America. Your children, happy Sunday to you, Micah. Happy Sunday to you, Kelia. And to you, Sinyoy, happy Sunday to you. And all those of you, Rosemary, happy Sunday to you guys. And also to you, Mr. Agochas in Canada, happy Sunday to you. And all those who have been part of this program, I want to wish you guys a happy Sunday. Now, Mr. Asia, the Anglophone Crisis. The Anglophone Crisis has been rocking on for 9 years now to 10 years, and the violent part of it started in 2018. With a lot going on, many are of the opinion that the crisis may have been forgotten.
Yes, Mr. Jervis, I don't think so. It's like somebody suffering from HIV/AIDS, and you decide to live with a disease. I think the crisis, they are there, the indications that the crisis has seeded, we have all the indications. For example, the last past mountain race that people were in Boya, there was tight security everywhere, and even the nature, the ambience that the race used to have, it was not like that this time. So they are all indications, like we're saying, they cannot pass, be it in the northwest or the southwest region, that you don't hear that somebody has passed away or they have found a dead body somewhere. So it means that the thing is still there. The problem is maybe the government is looking for a better way to actually see if they can solve the crisis. But I want to assure you that it is often said a stitch in time saves 9, because if we are procrastinating, I think things are worsening. We don't want to talk about the material damages that we have actually have for these 9 years. We don't want to talk about villages that no more exist. We don't want to talk about the economic backwardness of the northwest and the southwest region. And we don't want to talk about those who have been displaced and the type of life that they are living in other regions of Cameroon. So I feel that the problem is there. The fact is that maybe the government does not want to media it again. I think that is the reason why they have decided to maybe put it a halt for now, since there are other things that are disturbing the country. We know we are just from the presidential election, and we are also heading for the parliamentary and the legislative election. So those are things that I feel they are occupying the government so seriously for now. But I think the Anglophone crisis is still on their table and still needs a solution.
Yeah, when you talk about the fact that probably there are other issues, many are also saying that even from the perspective of NGOs, it's like the NGOs have forgotten about the crisis.
No, the NGOs have not forgotten. You know, the NGOs don't work on their own, Mr. Javis. They always work with, they work alongside with the government. So if they are having that lukewarm attitude now, maybe they have been cornered by the government that at this particular time, we need to concentrate and see if things will work the way we are seeing. Remember that there is a promise that there will be a total change in things with the coming of a new government, especially the fact that they have said many youths will be involved in the new government. Maybe the coming in of youths in the new government with certain ministerial positions will help to bring other solutions, especially what everybody has been talking of, that is a national and a true dialogue between the French-speaking Cameroon and the English-speaking Cameroonians, so that they can sit on a table and discuss and see the way forward, so that peace can reign in the southwest and northwest regions of Cameroon. I think the only solution, because no matter what, no matter the fighting, no matter the killing, I always say that if we fight, we are killing ourselves, we are killing our brothers and sisters. Everything will end by solving it on a table, coming down to dialogue and telling one another face to face that I faltered here, you faltered here, and we accept our differences, and then now look at the way forward. I think that is the cry that everybody is trying. I think the Cameroonian people want to see their country, especially the northwest and southwest region, to be what it used to be in those days when we were there.
Yeah, those of you watching us, you can participate in the course of the program. 676-431-384 is the contact in which you can participate on the program while waiting that our technical team put the number on the screen. You can also send us an SMS or text message or WhatsApp message, watch us on Facebook, leave a comment, leave a question, and we shall attend to that. Those of you watching us on social media, want to acknowledge all those of you watching us on Facebook. If you are watching us on Facebook, please drop a comment so that we can properly acknowledge you and also appreciate you for contribution towards the program. And I want to begin by saying that happy Sunday to all those of you who took our time to send us your messages. Mr. Ngala Godi from Estonia, I say thank you, my beloved brother Jarvis, and happy Sunday to the participants in the studio. God bless you. He is from Estonia, and he also like to know what is happening in Cameroon and pray that Cameroon should get better, such that investment opportunities shall come to Cameroon. He's watching us on Facebook. If you are watching us on Facebook, leave a comment and we shall properly acknowledge you. Also, now let me continue by also telling our viewers to understand that this conflict, which is ongoing as of now, there have been a lot of government proposals, government effort, beginning with the national dialogue, which the government decided to accord a special status thanks to the discussions that were held within the context of the Grand Measure National Dialogue, and several resolutions were reached at. But before then, Mr. Asia, let us look at also some of the things that many, there are some people who say the government has done a lot to resolve the conflict. But let's look at the case of the special status. You have been to Moya on several occasions, the Southwest region, and also to your village. I want to ask the question, do the people of this area, do they actually feel the impact of the special status? Are they even aware? What has changed?
Mr. Javis, when we talk about special status, I don't know, people that have lived in a country like Canada will better tell us, because we know that Quebec in Canada is having special status with Canada. But I thought when the government pronounced this issue of special status to the Northwest and Southwest, I thought people in that region will actually have some different treatment. But I feel that it is not the case, because when we look at what is happening there, the rate of controls that we have there when it comes to police controls and all the like. You cannot move for maybe 25 kilometers without seeing about 3 or 4 police controls. I think there is no special statute there. Like you said, I traveled recently to the village. I don't even think people in my village know what special statutes mean. So it is, I did not see anything that was like showing that now we are having some statutes that we are maybe treated differently when it comes to certain things. For example, we're going home, we were interrupted. The people that even interrupted us, I was surprised to see that the control was with the military that was doing the control. Because I know normally militaries are not supposed to do control. Control is supposed to be in the hands of, how do they call them, traffic police. And or immigration police may be the case. So when I even look at it like that, I was so disturbed. And the military person was bent on seeing the documents of the car and the cops that we were carrying. So there are things that I see the government has pronounced it, but the government is still to implement it fully in the northwest and southwest region of Cameroon. So we are begging on the powers that be that they have set special status. It should be implemented. People should feel it in the terrain. People of the northwest and southwest should feel that they have that special status in all aspects in this country, because the greatest cry that people are crying, and which brought this problem, is the uneven distribution of the national cake. Because the people of the southwest and northwest region, they feel that they are left behind. And truly, if you look at how things happen in the country, you will see that there is some sort of discrimination when it comes to positioning in the country. Look at the positioning when we go to the executive. We always see that if an Anglophone is coming in, maybe you'll be coming in at the 5th or 6th position. Look at this recent crisis that is taking place in the Douala Port. How can you imagine that the Prime Minister, I don't want to feel that it's because he's an Anglophone, will give orders there and then they don't take. So you see that there is something that the government actually needs to do when it comes to northern and southern Cameroonians, northwest and southwest, having special status. But to be sincere, even in Munya there, if you go, the people don't even understand what is special status. Even I myself, Mr. Javis, I'll tell you that when the government pronounced special status, I thought the government was supposed to give certain advantages and powers that you being to the people, you being of the English speaking part of the country. These are some of the benefits that you are going to have from now onwards. So I don't know, it was just pronounced like that, special status. Maybe I will see, have to find out to know some of the benefit. We can be saying that
if you of this social class don't feel and even understand the functionality of the special status, what will the normal person who is in a corner doing the farming, who is just exclusively for farming and mechanic, and who are not privileged to some information that you are, how would they say?
Yes, JV, you see, that's why I'm saying that if we don't actually know the program of the special status, it becomes very difficult for the common man to know about it. And I think if the thing was put in such a way that we will know that maybe in case of detention, this is what you are going to benefit, or in case of employment, and the phone comes first, or what things like that, then we could know and now have the position of explaining to the common man. Because we come our own place now to say, this my grandfather has not gone to school, this my mother is staying in Munya and maybe is not literate. We are supposed to say, Mama, if you go to maybe
the regional council,
you go to the office, or maybe to the police, or maybe go to any public place, they will treat you first because you are an Anglophone. So the thing of special status, I feel, is still on paper and is still to be implemented. I will beg that it should be implemented, because these are some of the things that will actually go a long way to soften the minds of Cameroonians, especially those that are in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Mr. Javis, I want to say, despite special status, we still need a genuine dialogue so that we can sit down, look at each other face to face, and see how we can put a lasting solution and bring this crisis to an end. You want to believe me that, Mr. Davis, there are some people that have died in the course of this crisis that we don't know.
Yes,
a lot have died that are unaccounted for, and it is not giving us a good image. And I feel I read somewhere they said the visit of the Pope that is going to come maybe is going to address the crisis in the Northwest and Southwest region, particularly as the Northwest is also part of his visit. We pray so. But Mr. Davis, if we talk about special status, I will not tell you a lie. Somebody from my area, especially my own village itself, they don't still feel, or they don't still even know that they have a special status in this country.
Let's look at the disarmament and the demobilization. These are centers that were created by Cameroon's government in connection to the Grand Major National Dialogue. Many people have the opinion that the DDR Center may have been created, but it has not resolved the issue of people to drop their arms. That what sense does it make that people who are in prison, who ordinarily protested, have not been released, but someone who is carrying gun and who have been killing people is being granted amnesty? How do we reconcile this? How does this reduce the violence?
Mr. Davis, I think the creation of the DDR centers, to me, I don't think it was the place for the government to create it at this time. Because to me, I thought these centers are created when there is peace, when the crises are over. But when the crises are not yet over and then we are creating centers like this, I don't know. The government better knows why they did so, and they are more intelligent than me that is talking here. But I feel the most important is they have not helped, because had it been the centers were serving the purpose, many of those separatist fighters could have dropped their guns and joined those centers. Maybe also, I am not saying that is what is happening, maybe the feedback that they are getting from the centers is not giving them that zeal to actually drop down their weapons and follow the orders in the DDR centers. But we are saying the centers have been created for people to drop their arms and then join them so that peace can reign in the Northwest and Southwest region. But I hold this, Mr. Davis, the centers are not the problem. The problem is genuine dialogue. That is my own viewpoint. The problem is if we can come to the table and say from now henceforth, this is how this country will look like, I think will soften people's mind. I always say that it is very difficult to tell people that you are sorry, but the word sorry can do a lot. Had it been, if I was in the place of the president of this country, I would stand one day and tell the Cameroonians, because this crisis is not only affecting the Northwest and Southwest region of Cameroon, it's affecting the whole country.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I'm Dieudonné calling from Yaoundé.
Yes, Mr. Dieudonné, right on.
My contribution to what we are talking about right now. Yeah, I just want to say, really, if you go way back from when the crisis started and you see the Anglophone leaders, if I must call it, the Anglophone leaders that have been trying to solve this problem, to be genuine and frank with the government of Cameroon, you discover that most of them have died and gone. Most of them have died and they have gone. But now, we are still living with what we know have been said by some other Francophone people who are, let me say some Cameroonians who are of the French speaking, who have had it at the back of their mind that the Anglophones are a minority and they cannot do anything. Because if you can go back to think about what a top government official should say, that 2 cubes of sugar in water cannot do anything. If we are just tracing it back, you see that there is a whole lot of hatred. Not even like, Because those people, they have not come out even to say that they are sorry. They have never accepted that they did wrong by saying that. And I don't want to think that it is because they say people in authority, they cannot stoop low to say that I am sorry. That is one. Apart from that, we are thinking about this issue of the dialogue. I am still asking, which succinct dialogue, which very clear dialogue do we really want? Because the truth is, there is this issue of twisting. We are twisting things that we know very well that we want to play it for our advantage. Because if you look about the French majority right now that we speak, there is a whole lot of manipulation. Nobody in the French part is able to say that, yes, I don't know whether they are still waiting for the president of the republic to come out and say, okay, because really, that is the person we are waiting for. If he would have been able to say, stop, let us end everything, we demilitarize as we actually started, as they started talking about this issue. Because the military they are haunting the people in the name of the separatist fighters. Even the separatist fighters, they are haunting the military and haunting the civilians. Both of them, like my brother just said some few minutes ago on TV, he was saying something that it is hard to even understand. How do you understand? How do you come to comprehend this fact that when you are going to the village, for example, I'm going to Bamenda, and from Bamenda there are other regions there are other states. You have to leave from one division, you have to leave Bamenda Mezam, for example, to another place. You discover that by the time you pass military control here, the next control is the Amber Boys. And the military control with the Amber Boys, they work almost hand in glove, they know what is happening. And before a military is killed, it is some sort of betrayal. Before an Amber Boy is killed, it is some sort of betrayal. Meaning that either there is somebody giving information to the military about the Amber Boys, and there is somebody giving information to the Amber Boys about the military, which if you go, they have taken an agreement that if you do this, this is what will surely befall you. So it is really not working, and we don't think that we can continue to stay like this. And we will not think that it is the papacy. For example, as my brother just mentioned there, it's not the Pope that will come and solve this problem. There is hatred. There is hatred and there is deceit. There is hatred and there is deceit. And I want to say it in clear terms. What you go in for, it is hurtful. Even you people watching me, you're watching from the looking and following this program, it is hurtful if you are saying the truth and you think that you are just honest and some other person is taking advantage over you. I think I will come in again.
Yeah, can I do a follow-up? Can I do a follow-up question?
Sorry?
Can I do a follow-up question for you? Can I do a follow-up question?
Yes.
But there is a fear. Many are worried that if the military is removed across the northwest and southwest region in some key locations, the guys who are kidnapping will intensify their kidnapping and their brutality on the civilians. That if the president of the military has somehow reduced the impunity that some of those who kidnapped people would have been doing. Will you disagree with that?
Okay, thank you so much. I will not just say yes, and I won't say just no. I want to come back to touch where we, the Northwesterners and the Southwesterners, where our culture is built. It is built on the respect of traditional authority. At the beginning, if these traditional authorities were left independent, they would have been able to solve this problem. Because these children they are calling Amber fighters and whatsoever, these are our own children. And if we have our own children that they are seeing that Papa or Mama or people who are custodians of the tradition are eating with the people that we consider an enemy, the children will normally, they will equally disrespect us. So, had it been, the government actually went first for a genuine dialogue, this is what would have happened. They would have actually laid down those arms. I am not in support of those arms because it even frightens me, even leaving my own place where I am surviving now, to even go to the village. I am one of those type of people that I will never like a gunshot anywhere. But now, how does this? There are people, I will just quote this famous musician. Lucky Duke, who said, leaders start wars, some for their right, some for fun, and some for their own glories. If I must quote that. That was an incarnate of a prophecy. And it continues right today. It is terrible. So I don't even want to take side with the fact that the military should remain and whatsoever, because even the military that have held people and they have asked for ransom, they have held, we have contributed money here, even for example, for my younger brother that has been in the village. At times they were arrested, they went to play matches, they were arrested, but all of a sudden we are called to contribute money and give to who? To the military. I don't know. Even at the moment I am at a dark, I don't even know whom to trust. It is a big problem.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, Mr. Asia, you heard it.
Yes, you see, the issue of the military is so disturbing, but it's very, very normal that even without crisis, military, they are there to protect civilians. But what is disturbing is that they have excesses that are disturbing, because I don't see the reason why the military are there to protect the civilians, to protect the people. But instead of protecting, they are there arresting and asking for money. I think it's disturbing, because the military was supposed to be there to protect the civilians. Now, if they are there, they are not protecting, they are arresting and asking for money, it becomes a problem. It means that the security is no more in their hands. And so I feel the military should be there and can only be removed when there is total peace, to my own way of saying it. But all the same, for me, I have said, my brother talk of what type of dialogue do we want again. I think those who have died, they have died. People are still there that we know very well that are at the forefront of this this crisis. There are people that we can still bring on the table and talk to and dialogue with. There was a proposal by late Cardinal Tumi that maybe even there should be an all-Anglophone conference.
Yes. That
the Anglophones sit down and then they say, okay, these are the people that we are voting to go in and sit and dialogue with the government so that we can have a lasting peace. I think there is still a place for dialogue, because if somebody say that no place for a dialogue again, it means we are not praying to end this crisis. Because I feel no matter what, even when you have a problem with somebody, no matter how it stays, the only thing that can bring that problem to an end is genuine dialogue between you and that person. And I feel the only solution to the Anglophone crisis is genuine dialogue. So people are there. We should not say that people have died. We have people. There are some that are in prison because of this cause. Those people, if they are in prison because of this cause. It means they know the role that the people can play when it comes to the resolution of the crisis. So I feel we still have a lot to do to bring people together. We started the first one, it did not work. Why not try the second one? Because many have complained. I'm not the only one saying it. Many have complained that the first dialogue was some sort of a monologue. It was not very genuine as we think. It was some sort of another Fumban that was that took place in Yaoundé. And we know the Anglophone crisis is the problem of Fumban. That is disturbing us today. So my brother, I feel the problem is not benefiting us. If you see, like my brother was saying, that there is control up there done by the voices in the bushes, and this way there is control done by the military. I want to say that it is not a new story that some people are benefiting from this crisis. That is why they want it to remain like that. And you know, when it is war, people make money from arms. Mm-hmm. People make money, so arms, it is not a new thing to you, to us. When there is war, people make money, and that is why some people feel that it should not end. But we are saying that insofar as they have given us our special status, let them give us the special status correctly, and then we come to a genuine dialogue so that Cameroon can once more be peaceful again, Mr. Javis.
Now, let us also look at this issue. He raised an issue about the trust issue. He said one point in time his brother was arrested when they went for a football match and they were called by families to contribute money, and that doesn't know who to trust again. And that's also the similar issue that many people are facing these days, because the armed fighters, sometimes you will see them, they wear full military gears. The armed fighters, you see them dressed in full military gears. And if a crime is committed, one without even investigation, one will say, it is military, or whereas it is an armed fighter. And sometimes so the military will also dress in full civilian attire in some areas. And you may see them from a distance and you think that it is the Amber Boys. And if a crime is committed, you may quickly. So at the end of the day, there is that chaos in assuming responsibility.
Really, and that is why the greatest mistake that happened was the pronunciation of picking guns. Picking arms was the greatest mistake, because I feel, like my brother said, the Lucky Dube sang, it's difficult to start a war. It's very easy to start a war, but it's difficult to end it. And that's what we are facing. I feel, you see, the military has been doing all those tactics just to maybe master the situation in the field. They were at times pretending to be like those guys so that they can get more information. Because Jervis, you bear with me that it's very difficult to win a guerrilla warfare, because the military don't actually know the enemy that they are fighting. Had it been the other part, or the guys that are fighting, they had a uniform that they could easily sort them out, it would be different. But you may come and sit in a beer parlor, you are a military person, and maybe sitting with one of them, you are conversing and giving your secret, you will not know. That's why you see the military, they are trying to do all what they are doing is just to see that they can also master the situation in the field. But I feel they have not succeeded, because things are getting bad, worse and worse every day. So my brother, I feel the only genuine way out of this crisis is a genuine dialogue. It's a genuine dialogue. If we can call on an all-Anglophone conference, that we come now and sit, because Mr. James, I want to say that even our elites also, they are not helping us. Because if the elite that we really have in the northwest and southwest region were really for that this crisis should go to an end, they too can sit or come. We have potential people in the government. Why is it that they cannot actually say, okay, we are representing the Anglophone people, this is what the Anglophone want, we want a genuine dialogue, and then they sit and then talk. People should not pretend we know the problem, because all these cosmetic measures that we are taking to solve this problem is as if we don't know the problem. We know the problem. The problem, Cameroonians know the problem that we have. It is not a problem that started only in 2016. It's a long problem that is a long-standing problem.
Because and I remember there was, when we were growing up, when 1st October comes, there's always a curfew.
Good.
On the night of 1st October.
Good. Because of the fact that's why I'm saying that it is the historical problem that escalated in 2016. So the problem, one panelist actually made it clear that the first time that this problem started, in those days, the present president in seat was one of the
members of the AO committee.
Good.
You had Dr. Professor You are mature.
These are people that, if you talk of, I think it's Professor Dorothy Joma, she's still alive. She's still alive. These are people that know
the members of the AO committee created the because President Pobia created the AO committee to resolve this conflict.
This very conflict.
In 2017, when he mandated the Prime Minister, the teacher protest dialogue was headed by Gugumu in Bamenda. And in Yaoundé, you are the Minister of State, you have the Minister of Justice and Keeper of the State.
So you see, you are better informed than me. So you see, it is not a new problem. But we have been, our elites, they have been dodging it. They have been dodging it because they don't want to actually accept that this is how it's supposed to be handled. The reason being that they are of the bourgeoisie class, as I can say it. And so, because all that is happening is not even disturbing most of them. Most of them are not living in the northwest. Their children are not there. They are not even in the country. So they give a damn to it. But if you see a problem that even the present president knows the problem, then why not solve it?
But many people always hide behind the fact that, but before asking that question, those of you watching us, you can contribute in the course of the program. 676-431384. 676-431384. You can call to participate on the program on how we can resolve this conflict, because there are some people who are always saying that the head of state is not aware of what is
no.
that
people,
the ministers are receiving the head of state that is having wrong information.
Mr. Javis, I want to say that people normally say all those things, but I want to tell you that the government of every country has its intelligence. And you cannot tell me that the president does not know. This is a man that mastered this country more than you and me, because he has been in government for over 40 years. He was a prime minister, for more than 50 years he has been in government. So there's nothing that
half of his year, because he entered very young.
Very young. He came to power around before at 40 he was already in power. So look, he knows this country very well, and he has gone around this country. So you don't tell me that he does not know the Anglophone crisis, that he was a member of the ad hoc committee that was sent to solve it. He knows it. And so you cannot tell me that the ministers are giving him wrong information. The problem is that I feel they are giving him the information and not giving him the correct way to solve it. That is what I believe. Because if people like the ones that you have called that are still alive, that were sent to solve this problem, because they knew that these Anglophones, they knew the problem, and using them, the former president knew that using them, it could be a solution. So I feel the president is very, very aware of what is going on in the Northwest and Southwest region. And like my brother was contributing, I was thinking that the president could get up and say, okay, the problem should end now. This is the way forward, and things will end. Because if there's nothing that if the president says, oh, the military, drop down your arms, voices in the bushes, drop down your arms, and let's have this dialogue and look for a way forward. And then I don't feel this crisis will continue, Mr. Javis. So I feel that the president is very, very aware, and he is looking for ways that he can bring the problem to an end. So why not help the president bring the problem to an end? And how can we help the president? Through a genuine dialogue.
Yeah, let me just try to check. There are people who have left us a message on Facebook. This one is good afternoon, all watching from Fundong, Akuma Hilary. Guys, Cameroonian called for Donald Trump to come and moderate the dialogue. Donald Trump to come and moderate the dialogue. This comes from Harris Pichichi. You have any Allen. Good afternoon, you all watching from UAE. Those of you watching us from UAE, I hope that the United Arab Emirates is you guys are having a safe environment, because the conflict between the United States of America and Israel, between the United States of America, Israel, and Iran, is causing serious attack across the Middle East. Several Middle East nations have been struck by the Iranian mixer targeting U.S. bases located in that area. Those of you who are watching us from U.S., United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, we want to tell you that our prayers and our thoughts are with you, that you guys should be safe and God should protect you all as long as you are out there trying to defend, look for your daily bread. And if you are also watching us, you want to participate in the course of the program, please feel free to do so by letting us know why and what you are calling us from. Please be moderate, and let us also know, be moderate when you are calling us, and be respectful of your opinion, and put it in simple way that it can be understood. It is 676-431-384 is the number that you can call us as far as today's program is concerned. Some have sent us SMS. This one says, good afternoon, Mr. Jarvis. The conflict of the North and Southwest region can only be resolved if we have good faith. The truth is, the Amba themselves don't have good faith. The government don't have good faith. Both sides don't have good faith. How do you resolve a conflict when both sides don't have good faith? I used to think that the government was the one that lacked good faith until I started seeing some of the atrocities being committed by Amba. Today, if you talk about dialogue or you want to talk about this escalation in the Northwest, they will call you a black leg. And if you want to also talk about the fact that government should intensify dialogue and call for fresh dialogue, they may call you a separatist supporter. At the end of the day, you are confused. You don't know which way to go to. And no side is even doing justice to help people to see how they can resolve the conflict. So if we cannot change this mentality, we may not have a solution to resolve the Anglophone crisis. Watcher writing from Bamenda. This is all right. It says a good afternoon and a happy Sunday to you guys in the studio. My challenge is that Cameroon government need to do more in protecting lives and properties. These guys in Bamenda are causing us havoc. They kidnap you, they ask you to pay money. I thought this conflict was a conflict against marginalization. But as it sounds now, Mr. Jarvis, marginalization is what we are going through the hands of those who were claiming they want to protect us. If the government remove the military bases, as that caller indicated, I must tell you that the whole of Northwest region will be kidnapped. You just get one morning that an entire quarter has been kidnapped and asked to pay ransom. To me, I will not support the fact that government should remove military bases. All I will support is that the Cameroon government should plan more of those military bases. In fact, every after 2 meters should be a military base, because this thing in Bamenda is not easy. You don't know who to trust again. You can be kidnapped at any point in time. Even your family, without money, they will ask you to call your brothers and your cousins in diaspora as though they are the ones who sent them there. God bless you guys in the studio. Peace. This guy talked about the fact that he believes so much in the military bases that without that, they would have had some quarters kidnapped.
Yes, Mr. JV, you see, from the onset, we used to have information that the guys were there to protect us. But when you see what is happening, the protection is not there. If they kidnap you and then they ask for ransom, and then they are asking that if you don't have, you will ask from people abroad, it becomes disturbing. So I feel if they should also make us to trust them. If they want that, we should trust them. But if we don't trust them now, and then we see people like the military, like the guy is saying, that there is some sort of trust. Because despite the excesses of the military, there's some sort of trust with the military. So I feel he is very correct that many of those military barracks should be created so that at least it can help that there should be some small stability there. But we are saying that if we create military barracks in all of Bamenda, it means Bamenda will also become a military camp or what, so it will not be normal, because you see it is very, very disturbing that we even find military pirating the street with guns every day. Some people cannot withstand that, because there are some people that will not even want to see the guns. So I feel that we will not remain in a warlike zone for forever. So we should look for a way out. And what is the way out? Is making both parties having that trust from them, because for now people don't trust each other. If we can bring that trust, like the person from Yaoundé is saying, from Bamenda is saying, if we can have that trust, but now how can we have the trust when the only moment that they come towards you is only to come and kidnap you? It means you see there is no genuine dialogue between the population and the voices that are claiming to protect them, and even with the military. So I feel that trust should come back. The government should make it in such a way that the population should have trust on the military. If there is that trust in the military, I think things will be different. So what he is saying is correct, but I feel we should have a genuine dialogue. I will always end by saying that we should have a genuine dialogue, because a problem that has lasted for more than 60 years, this Anglophone problem, it has, some people just feel that it started in 2016. No, it's a problem that started from the genesis of Cameroon being one. And so we need to actually look at the
fallout of the Fumban conflict.
From the fallout of Fumban, that is the genesis of this problem. And so we need to come back to the table of Fumban. That's why I was proposing that we could reschedule a dialogue in Fumban, because the present leader in Fumban, the Sultan there, he has the archives of everything that happened, transpired during the Fumban the conference. I think we can start from there and adjust everything. I feel dialogue is the way out to this problem, Mr. Jervis.
Now, there are some people who feel that the Anglophones are exaggerating, that they claim they have been marginalized, but the same problem is being felt by everybody across the other regions.
You will see that, Mr. Jervis, there's problems that are all over Cameroon. We talk about roots. It's not only in the southwest region that there are no roads. It's not only in the northwest region that there are no roads. There are no roads even in Douala here. When I was coming to the studio, I said, oh, this is the economic capital of our country, no roads. So those are general problems. When it comes to electricity, it's the same. In Douala here, electricity is not better. When it comes to other aspects, even education, it is the same. But I want to say there are some specific problems that we feel the Anglophones, because the problem was the two countries coming together. Coming together, it did not mean that one country will outweigh another one. Because if you look at it very well, before coming to meet us, we already had a government. We already had a government. But there are certain things that we don't enjoy in this country. We don't enjoy as English Cameroonians. Let us not fool ourselves. Let us be frank to ourselves. Even here, there are moments that I told you one day, it's still in this program, that the first day I went to the governor office here in Douala, I was embarrassed because when I spoke English, the way I was treated there, it was a problem. They called for somebody that should come and take care of me. That go and take care of that Anglophone there. Imagine what stigma. So that's what we have been facing. But if at all the language, the French language and the English language had equal status, this problem of Anglophone crisis could not even have a surface. But the problem is that once you hear somebody speak English, right up to now that we are still facing this crisis, there are places that when you go there, they just call you Anglophone, and they don't treat you the way they are supposed to treat you. But how do you feel that you are in your own country where you are supposed to be treated well, and then you are not given that treatment? It will bring many things. It will bring radical thoughts. And this is where many Anglophone Cameroonians are radical. Because the fact that they cannot express themselves in French language does not make them second-class citizens in Cameroon. We are all Cameroonians, and so it should be this particular aspect should be addressed. I think this is one of the main causes of this Anglophone crisis: the fact that when you go somewhere as an English person, you are treated differently with the person that is speaking in French. So it's a big problem. We need to solve it, and the way out is dialogue.
Hello, Mr. Chavez. I am watching in the United States of Libya. The truth has been spoken today. All those who have trusted, all those we have trusted to help us in Yaoundé are instead making money. No road in Libya. The government should take note that what is happening in southwest and northwest in 10 years to come, Cameroonians shall cry what happened to us, because good enemy has been created. Thanks. This is God love. Thanks. God love Asson. Writing from Lebi Alem. This. All right. Happy Sunday to you guys. This problem must be resolved when the separatists decide to listen, because they say that they will fight until the last man standing. What last man standing are you talking about? The only way out is when you decide to sit down with the government and work out strategy. Hello, Chavez. My problem is the chiefs. When are they starting with the communal dialogue that the head of state asked them to start?
If I may come in there, you see that, Javis, I was telling somebody the other day that if you look, some of I'm not saying all the chiefs, some of our chiefs have actually, I don't know, they are not doing what they are supposed to do. You see, some of them, they'll carry their palace to Douala. If it does not work there, they carry their palace to Yaoundé.
So they have mobile palaces.
They have mobile palaces. I don't understand. I don't understand if they are still the custodian of the tradition as they are. Because there are certain things that I've said, Mr. Javis, there are certain things that if we want to pour, maybe libation, it must be done in the village. Because there are certain things that you cannot carry from the village and you bring here. So I don't know, we have chiefs that have the mobile palaces. I'm sorry for that, not all of them, because there are some chiefs that are still there within and they have never left their villages. But the problem now that my brother was talking about, communal dialogue. How can you dialogue with people that you are not even there with them? You come for 2 days and the next 2 months you are not in the village. You only come to the village on very important occasions. It cannot work because the village just want you to actually be in the village, live what they are living, and then when you call them now to a dialogue, they'll come. But if you come, it's like some of us that we go to the village once in a while, Mr. Javis. You cannot actually give a contribution that they welcome it in the village because you are not living what they are living there. And you cannot actually know what they are living except you decide to maybe keep some time with them. I've said that traditional leaders, their places are in the village. You don't leave your palace and then you are pirating up and down. The problem is
so they are looking for money too for the community.
They are looking for, no, if you sit there in your palace, money will come. When you are there in the palace, everything will meet you there. Because you have people, you have elite now. Is there anybody that is bigger than the chief of the village? Once you are the chief, you control everybody in the village. Whether somebody in the village is a minister, is still under you. Whether somebody in the village is a president, is under you. Except I'm making a mistake, Mr. James.
No, you're not.
No, if you are a chief, you become the head of everybody. And so what makes it that you decide to make a palace to become a mobile palace? From today you are in Boya, tomorrow you are in Yaoundé, tomorrow you are in Douala.
And
I think
over 6 to 8 months that person.
More than 1 year, are you talking about 6 months? You are a traditional head of a particular village and you spend more than 2 years with that person there. Is it normal? It's not normal. There are things that we should not accept. So that issue of communal dialogue will be very difficult with some villages.
Yeah.
But it will be possible with those villages that their chiefs are in place.
When you talk about the issue that the mobile offices or mobile palaces that the chiefs are not always there, but maybe the idea about communal dialogue from President Biya is thanks to the result of the presidential election, which he saw. He saw that these chiefs that like normalcy has returned because from the result of the presidential election may have made the president to understand that things are normal. Because how do you explain the fact that villages like Batibo will have 5,000 voters, some will have 12,000 voters, 3,000, 10,000 voters? Then the head of state say, wow, it means that the people can, you went down and campaigned for me and you had that voter, it means the people can listen to you. So I want you to go engage in them community dialogue.
Mr. James, see, I don't want to enter the discussion of the election, but
yeah, because that could be the reason for communal dialogue.
You see, the problem is some of them that are doing what they did, they are not helping us. Because if you come and present, just tell me if you come and present that 500 people voted from your village, which that village in its entirety does not have a population of 500 people, are you helping that village? I don't think you are helping that village. So there are certain things that the results that came, those who actually did that, they have a reason why they did so, but I feel they did not help us. Because it was good that the true results of those places come so that we should understand that these areas, they are still in crisis. Now, let me ask, you are the one asking question here, but let me ask also, these places that we heard of the giving so amount of votes, do we have peace there?
Yeah, maybe
we don't have. Why is it that I am asking those who did it? Why is it that we had this percentage of people who voted in support of the president, but yet we don't have peace in those areas? It means it is a controversy. So I feel the elections have come and passed. It's a past something. we are looking for the way forward. The way forward is that we should stop deceiving ourselves, Mr. Javis. We should stop deceiving ourselves. Let us call a knife, and then do what is right for the people. Cameroonian people in the northwest and southwest region have suffered a lot with regards to this crisis. Is it not time the government should put all parameters in place and see that we bring a lasting solution to this problem? And I feel the lasting solution will come when we put our hands together, we bury our differences, we trust each other, and we say we have a genuine dialogue, and then we have a way forward for Cameroon to be a peaceful nation again.
Greetings to you, Mr. Javis and Mr. Asia. This is Felix, the son of man, watching from where, truth be told, we are tired about this so-called Amber issue. Can you imagine that last week my younger brother went to Jakiri to bury a colleague, and those boys invaded the funeral ground and took 5 of them to the bush, where they spent 5 days. They asked for 5 million francs from each of them. Finally, a huge amount was paid by each of them before they were released. May the coming of Pope to Cameroon in April may savage this situation.
Son of man, the Pope is coming for spiritual purposes. Even though we know that he is also a political head, but we pray that he's coming. He is also a president, so his coming may actually throw cold water on what we are facing in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. But like we said, we are tired of it. We are suffering every day. People are not enjoying the northwest and southwest. It used to be a pleasure.
Let me come. Hello, Mr. Godlove.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you very much. The topic is very interesting, and I want to greet all of my brothers who are there in the panel. I'll greet you once more. Actually, I slept only 2 hours, but I'm watching your program right now, and I'm really very thankful to you and the panel. So I just want to give my own point.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you made a point that some of the other regions in Cameroon, they feel that is what is happening in the English side of Cameroon is the same thing that is happening in the French-speaking side. But that is some people say that, some people think that, but that's not the same thing, because the English side voted to join the French side. There were 2 different entities, and so there is a concrete case with the English side,
okay,
than the other French side. Yeah, I can give you a point. For example, the Bafoussam never voted to join Yaoundé. Tamawa never voted to join Yaoundé, but Bouya and Bamenda voted to join Yaoundé on the French side. Then number 2. So you see that this is already like a case on its own. Now, what makes it so? The problem is that the people at the hierarchy, especially the president, has to come down from the high horse and help us and accept openly and publicly that, yeah, there's a problem. Because you can't take the date that my great-grandparents voted to join you and make it a youth holiday. What is that? That is, you disrespected me, you disrespected my grandparents,
so
you disrespected my
the
parents.
historical significance, like you are saying, is not respected.
Exactly, bro, exactly. I don't want to say Bia is responsible, but he was there during this period. He was there and he was a youth and he was active, so he knows this problem. Yeah. Then, second point, when they discovered the oil in Southwest, Ahiji decided to create whatever referendum, whatever it was, and then he left from Federal Republic of Cameroon to United Republic of Cameroon. Yes. Yeah, and then the worst part again is that they decided to remove this agreement that Anglophone was supposed to be the prime minister, and then they started putting French prime ministers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when they wanted to return the Anglophones to the prime ministership, they kept the power. So the Anglophone prime minister today is just a figurehead. Any honest man from the French side or from the English side will see that this is genuinely not honesty. And the president himself said that they tried to assimilate it to us and it didn't work.
Yeah,
so
we Ibrahim.
Yeah, exactly. So we, the people of English Cameroon, we have a genuine problem. But there is a problem. The French population, the ordinary man, doesn't know all of these things. Even me, when I was growing up, when I was studying in college, I never knew all of these things. It's the debates that are going on your TV, especially on your TV, not CRTV, but on your TV shows that are really educating me. Now I know much of what really happened in the past. The manipulations and all of those things, I know them. So what can be done to solve this problem today? The best way to solve the problem today is not by calling on an Anglophone or conference. It will not work. Because you will call this conference, you take the resolution, you send it up there, and the president will sit quiet, and those who are like in charge of this thing will just sit quiet. It will melt away, just like the national conference. You have all these people that the president is appointing. They can't do anything. They will go around and make a lot of noise and do some whatsoever, and they go back there. Those who are supposed to pass the information up to the president or the president himself, they take the resolution, they will keep it there and nothing will work. I can assure you, like 1,000,000,000%. So the only way to solve this problem is for the head of state to calm down, make a speech, tell his people, we know that you know the history, or we know the history, but we are one people.
Yeah, he said that in 2014 when he visited Buea, he said history has it that Buea was the capital of southern Cameroon. And in his speech before I think that was the 2019, when he called for the Grand Measure National Dialogue, he acknowledged that there were problems, and that he acknowledged that those problems, the people had genuine concern. That was why he called for the Measure National Dialogue. But many people are saying that the failure could have been attributed to the political elites who are trying to make things difficult and to still remain in power, because they fear that if the dialogue is, if the resolutions are given, it will give way to power will return back to the people, and they will lose their significance as elites and their control over the masses.
Okay, I will tell you something simple. You can't tell me that the president doesn't watch TV, at least Cameroon TV. He doesn't watch. He watches the TV. He sees what is going on. This president, I can tell you 1,000,000,000%, knows exactly what is going on. So if you have been having a war for how many years? 9 years today? Yeah? If you have been having a war going on for 9 years today, and nothing has been there, there's no resolution to this war, and you acknowledge that there is a problem, but you made all these committees and whatever, and nothing is working. You see people still dying every day in your country. So what explanation do you have? He acknowledged the problem, but there's no action, no concrete action being taken to solve this problem. The only concrete way to solve this problem, my brother, is this. This president has to come down to Bamenda and Buea, create an environment where those who have been really very hurt